Hello and welcome to this next tarot and tea video with a nice cup of tea and me, Laura D. I hope you're well this morning, well it's afternoon, and it's just before Imbolc here in the Northern Hemisphere here in Glastonbury, UK. And what I would like to do today is show you some of the decks that I like to use. It's not really reviewing, but it's kind of showing you the decks that I love and why I love them, and a couple of the decks. This will be a few videos because I have a ridiculous amount of cards. When I moved from London over a year ago, I did a little inventory about how many decks I had. I think I stopped at around the 40 or 50 deck mark. I was like, you know what, don't need to count anymore. We're fine, let's just not count. So yes, I've got quite a lot of decks of cards. So I thought I'd use I would show you a couple of the decks that I use really regularly. I was watching a video by the wonderful Dakota Hendricks the other day, and I like what was said there about you buy some decks because you pick a card, or you look at the card, look at the cover, you see a few cards, and you go, wow, you're beautiful, you're gorgeous, what beautiful artwork. And you can take it home with you, and either the rest of the cards don't live up to the two cards you saw, or you just don't connect with it on a psychic and a spiritual level. They could be really beautiful, but there's something that's just not quite alive for you. So that's something to take in consideration when purchasing decks. You may want to see more than one card, or you may want to spend some time, but sometimes there's no escaping the fact that when you get those cards in your hands, they may not be what you would feel they would be. They may not be what you were expecting, and vice versa. You may get some cards where you think, cool, and when you hold them and when you use them, you're just like, these are amazing, these are something that really speak to me. So you will find there are decks that will speak to you, and you will find the decks, because there's so many out there, that really don't. And that's fine, everyone's very different, and the decks that I'm showing you today, you may feel, they're not for me, Laura, and that's awesome, that's cool. You're going to find the ones that are right for you. I think I've mentioned this before, but the beginner's deck, if you're just starting to learn, the best one to really start on is the Rider-Waite deck. And you can use that at any point in your life, in your work. I've given all my decks away, my Rider-Waite deck, so I can't show you, because I always give it to people that are just learning. So I have a deck, and then someone said they're learning, so I'll pass it on to them. So I don't have a Rider-Waite deck, and I don't use them really in my work. But a lot of the decks that you'll see that we do use are based upon the themes and the images from the Rider-Waite deck. Now, so I'm not going to go into. I mean, you could do so many videos just looking at each deck because they're so beautiful and there's so many meanings within them. This is just to show you a few decks. I'm planning on showing you 2 or 3, depending on how long it takes me. First of all, I'm going to show you a deck that I use all the time. I think I showed it to you before in other videos, but we'll just go there again. Okay, so the deck that I use all the time has run off. No, it hasn't. I thought it was hiding. Well, it is hiding, but is the Thoth Deck. Here we go. The Thoth Deck. I was like, where's it gone? It was doing a bit of a game of hide and seek. The Thoth Deck is my deck. Is my all seasons deck. Is whenever I'm going to do a reading, especially I do many readings. I do readings face to face with people that I've read for many years, and I'll do readings at corporate events where you're given 10 minutes with a total stranger to tune in to something that's going on with them. I'll go out into public places and meet new people and in depth look at what's going on. And for those situations, especially when there's people that I don't know and I've not connected with before, I need a deck that I know that I'm going to be able to work with, tune into, and it's going to work for everybody, for me. And this is this deck, the Thoth. For me, it gets to the heart of everything with everybody, myself included. This is my deck, and I think I told you the story before, but I got my first Thoth deck in a second-hand shop in Falmouth, in a second-hand bookshop in Falmouth, Cornwall, when I was a student there, put it back in 2000. And I was scared of it. It looked scary. There was big symbols, things saying cruelty on it, and symbols, and it looked quite hardcore. And I thought, I don't know, with all the Aleister Crowley and the Golden Dawn stuff around, I was like, I'm not sure if this is a deck I can handle with. It's quite intense, but it sat with me for years. And then when I started using it, I never turned back. It's hard to turn back. It's an amazing deck. It's not scary. I think you can get to the point where you avoid the words and you understand the state of mind, like with the Nine of Swords cruelty. You know, I think I've mentioned this before as well, that this is often what we do to ourselves, because the swords represent thoughts and ideas and words and thinking mental processes, and the Nine of Swords are kind of melting away like they're not really real. So it can be the thoughts that we do, the things we do to ourselves, the mental cruelty we inflict upon ourselves, and then maybe because we're inflicting upon ourselves, we can inflict on other people as well. But I mean, just love this deck. I mean, just the artwork by you know, it was just utterly stunning. Really, really impressed. Frida Harris did an amazing job with this artwork, and I'm totally in love with her and how she worked. So the beautiful Thoth deck for me is my all season. It can be different sizes, as well as the big deck that I like using. So I like looking at the pictures. I will probably, you know, do much more work showing you the Thoth deck, and if you look at my previous videos on the tarot, I'm using them a lot. So yeah, do look. There's so much symbology and mysticism with these that it would take a lot of videos to look into. I'm just showing you my favourite deck. See how it resonates with you. Like I'm showing you the Aries card, like Aries card, because I'm an Aries, so we have to show the Aries card. The Aquarius card, we're coming into the time of Aquarius at this moment in time, and I love Aquarian energy. Oh, I do, and I've got Aquarius moon, so it's beautiful energy. I just love some of the images in these cards, and the ones, you know, where they look a bit gloopy and miserable is because, you know what, life can be gloopy and miserable, can't it? It's not always shining and beautiful, and we feel disappointed in love and we feel heartbroken and we are drained. But I really love the way this deck shows all the different emotional, practical and spiritual shifts that we're dealing with. And I use this deck all the time, as I've mentioned, and even though I use it all the time, I still find different things when I'm reading for people in the cards. I'll be drawn to something different, and I'm always getting fresh images with it. I think this is about the third deck I've been through, because I shuffle them so much sometimes the the edges fall off. I think I've got 3 decks of these cards, but they're very special to me. The second deck of cards I want to show you, so that's ones that I'll use pretty much as unless I'm feeling in a different mood, you know, for big events or for new readings, I'll be using those. Even for old clients that I've worked with for many years, I will often use those. The other deck I wanted to show you is a deck that I absolutely adore, and it's called the Wildwood Tarot. And it's written by John Matthews and Mark Ryan, and the artist is Will Worthington, and utterly beautiful, great team together, wonderful people, wonderful, esoteric, shamanic, awesome. And the Wildwood Tarot is such a journey into the wildwoods of our ancestors, into the wildwoods of our subconscious, and into the realms of the nature spirits and the animals, and for the deities and ancestors revered by our older primal selves. The court cards in the deck are animals, which I really like. So you've got the Knight of Stones. Stones is pentacles and discs, earth, in this deck, and you've got a horse. You've got a real sort of ancient horse, sort of a Neolithic horse there, really wild, kicking his hooves. So really like the energy. And the Queen of Arrows in this deck, arrows is swords, is air, and you've got the Queen of Arrows as the gracious swan there on the water. One of my favourite cards, they're both here, 2 of my favourite cards. But I just love it. I really enjoy this deck. I just find it such a different energy, such a beautiful, different energy to a lot of tarot decks that are out there. The 9 in the major arcana is the Hermit, and if you were like me and grew up watching Robin of Sherwood, with Mark Ryan, who wrote the book as Nazir in it, and you want to sing that Clannad song, Robin the Hooded Man, go for it now. The Hooded Man is the Hermit, and this is just, I don't know, this speaks to me. I feel very blessed that I grew up watching those TV programmes, because they had Herne in it, they had the Wildwoods, they had the Robin Hood that was a part of the forest and part of the old ways and very pagan. And I think this deck really does do justice to that energy. And the Hooded Man, I love this kind of hooded figure walking through the snow with little wren there, and the beautiful sort of solstice-y feeling, and doorways in the trees in the woods. It's just so evocative, isn't it? I find that a beautiful, beautiful card. And I like this because also the feminine cards are not quite so floaty in this deck, like which for me works well, because I'm kind of an earthy, shamanic-y, witchy kind of girl, so it does me good. That the Seer is the priestess, the high priestess, and I like this lady. I could be this. This is great. So the Seer is the priestess. The Seer is the second side of the vision, and she's there with her feathery cloak on, with her animals, with the red, with the skull, with her bag and the water and the staff, and she's just tuning into the elements with the mossy tree behind her. So that often the priestess card is very blue, is very very. She's in the same energy. She's channeling. She's but there's something a bit more earthy and powerful for me about this, which I really, really, really enjoy. So I love this, the way they've used this in the deck. Because this strength card is the stag. So there's some quite, powerful and beautiful. I won't go through all of them. Gosh, I could do a video on going through all of them. Particularly because they've changed a couple of the meanings in the minor arcana. Particularly, I really get the changes in the major arcana. They work really well. But the change in the meanings of the minor arcana, I really like as well. They've made some shifts which I do approve of. There's a beautiful one as well, the Six of Cups, Six of Vessels, Reunion. They're just cards you can meditate with, aren't they? You could just go on a lovely journey looking at each and every one of these. So I would really heartily, if you're interested in sort of the woods, the wild woods, druidry, paganism, Wicca, shamanic energy, and interested in looking at the ancestors and the tribal communities and the history of our land, and that's everyone's land, I would really recommend these. The book's lovely that comes with it as well. It's a great book. I love one of my favourite ones as well, the Page of Stones, as the page of earth, of discs, of pentacles. It's a lynx, and I love lynxes. I do love lynxes. So yeah, just the shaman as opposed to the magician, epic, gorgeous energy, and really interesting to read with as well. It's not just cards that I find they're pretty, I can meditate with. I think they work with certain questions more. Again, like I say, I maybe wouldn't go to a big event with these because I feel these are more personal. I might go to a big event with these, depends on the event, but more personal. So I'd work one-to-one with a person, with a client with these cards. I work with myself with these cards. They're cards to meditate on and to really get deeper wisdom and knowledge about yourself, your motivations and your core. So I recommend the Wildwood Tarot, hands down. It's a beautiful deck and beautiful in all ways. And finally for today, I'm going to do more videos on this because I think I've got quite a lot of decks to share. I just buy so many because I'm an artist and a tarot reader. Together it's a lethal combination when you have websites where you can just press buttons and they arrive in your house. So the other deck I would love to show you is from my friend Emily Carding, and it's a Tarot of the She deck, another one of my favourites, another one of my, like the Wildwood Tarot, a deck that just offers so much. It's great to read in general, but I think with people that are quite open to spirituality and open to powerful, fairy, fiery magic, though I can read for most people with these cards. It's not like it's just for spiritual people. I just think that these work really well with people that are already on the spiritual path or interested in delving into the spiritual path. So the She, Tarot of the She, this is the glyph of the She, which is a meditational tool, a gateway, a symbol that you can meditate on and enter the realm of the She. The She are the shining ones, the fairy, but the race of fairy beings, a tall race of fairy beings spoken about in Irish myth and folklore, who are supposed to maybe be the Tuatha De Danann, the race of people who were driven into the underground realms, an ancient race of people, older than humans, very wise, and very interesting. I'm not going to go into the history of the She. That again, that's another video. I get so many things to talk about. I get a little bit excited. So Emily channeled these images and painted them. From speaking to her, I know she did them over, she painted them, and she felt very much that she had to keep going with these. I was doing them very often. She was very focused on these cards, and they just came to her and she painted them. She spent a lot of time working on these images. You've got the Fool there. What I love about these images is one of my favourite ones, the Sun, going up the Tor or a Tor to the tree and being invited by the She to take part of their dance, is the pure life force energy that comes through these cards. There's harmony, there's beauty, there's power. They move, they breathe, they live. It is for me, a real tool of not only tarot and divination, but contact with the She. I find this a really powerful this is a really powerful deck to work with, to connect with the spiritual elemental beings in ourselves, and to connect with the Sidhe and our ancestors. So in this deck, instead of having cups, we have dancers, which I like as a dancer. I really like that. So the dancing energy of the watery element, that's the 10 of cups, as it were, and that's everyone together connected in a beautiful song. Also, there's a lovely one as well. You've got, actually, I'll show you two more. From the water, from the cups, from the dancer set. You've got the Dancer Princess. So onto the court cards. Suits, I was trying to say earlier, not set, suits. My head's gone a bit today. Obviously, too much talking, not enough slurping. That's better, now I can talk, more sense. Dancer Princess is the page or the princess of cups, vessels, or however you see it in your decks, and I love it. She's just having a ball. She's just riding the back of a unicorn with her legs kicked in the air. Sun is shining, fantasy, dream, enjoying life. It's just beautiful. One of my other favourite ones is the Dancer 9, so the 9 of Cups, which is always what I feel is wish fulfillment and happiness and kind of that cosmic order and that total spell work and making a wish and putting those dreams out there is with this one. But what I also like about this deck is it doesn't skirt away from the icky feelings of life. Talking of icky feelings of life, have we all known what it's like to feel you had your heart pecked out? I hope you haven't, but I think most of us have. The kind of that soul loss, that hurts, that feeling that we don't want to go into too much at this moment in time. The confusion, you know, this does not skirt away from negative feelings at all. It shows you them. It goes into the icky, gooey, needed world of confusion, doubt, heartache and pain, and shows you so much about what is causing those situations. So that's with the, I'm trying to find a happier air card. Here we go. The Dreamer. The Dreamer is air. The Dreamer is air in this deck. The Dreamer King. So Swords is the Dreamer in this deck, which I like as well. It's a very evocative energy, really, isn't it, to think about dreaming and what we're dreaming into being. Fire. I'm going to show the Chariot. The Major Arcana is epic. It's just so full of powers. There's so much something you can journey with and enter these cards and just feel the energy coming off them, which is what I love. When I look at a deck of cards, whatever the energy of the deck is, I want to immerse my energy with that energy and to create something beautiful. So I want to be able to sink in or walk in or dance into that card, and I want that card to leap out at me so that I can understand it more fully. And this deck 150% does that. Yes, so the fire, my favourite, my fire, is usually the Wands. In here we have the Warriors, so all the fires are warriors, so it's very fiery and strong. What I also beautiful, the Earth, the Discs or the Pentacles is the Maker in this deck, and I really love these energies. You've got the Maker Queen there, the Queen of Earth, 9 of Earth, 9 the Maker 9. They're just with the nature there. It's so very, very, very beautiful. And with the 2, you've got the Warrior 2, 2 of Wands. You feel that decision, you feel that fire, you see that power as a snaky, dragony Kundalini rising, and that energy of this race of people and their connection to the earth, to the land, and to the elements. So, before I leave you, I've got some more. I think I picked out some more of the Major Arcana that I really, really like. Yeah, the Hanged Man I think is excellent on this. You've got the Glyph of the Sidhe, which you will find in most of the major cards. I think all of the major cards, she's got the Glyph of the Sidhe in there as well. And you've kind of got the view of the Hanged Man almost on the top, watching him hang down into that glyph. So you can see him there, and he's hanging into the glyph. So he's at that portal, he's at that gateway, and you can kind of see him hanging. And I just love the visuals of that, and the world's all upside down, and how you do see things when you're at a different space. So all of these cards are real channeling. They're real channeling from the Sidhe. And Emily is a wonderful lady and very powerful priestess and magical lady, and very connected to the Sidhe. So I think this is a real testament to that. So what I did is, on the last video I was saying, you know, about how to ask the right question. So what I did this morning before I did the videos anyway, I won't shuffle because I want to bring out the same card. I asked, what could I best focus? How could I best focus my energy today? What would be the best focus for my energy today? Because I have so many ideas. I'm the queen right now of having more inspiration and more ideas than I have cups of tea. And sometimes I have so many, I just sit there and I just go and don't do anything. And that will make me very angry and annoyed, and I get really frustrated. So I asked the cards, you know, what is the best focus for my energy today? And I got just something that I generally like to call myself anyway. The Warrior Princess, the gift of courage. And there are some projects I want to work on, no, what I'm doing now, and projects I want to work on which are absolutely my heart of my passion of my dreams, the things that I really want to do. But I tell myself, I can't do that, I need to do the practical things first. And today this showed me, with the warrior, the princess, they're full of fire, full of passion, but refining her dreams and fire into one arrow, into one very focused, very determined step, is to focus all this passion and fire today into a goal, a dream, a passion, and not spread it, not get like, do a bit this, do a bit that, run over here, run over there, to kind of take that fire and discipline it and use it in a way of shooting it out into the cosmos, shooting it out into the world and seeing how the world feels about that, but knowing what you want and being young, being feisty, being passionate, being wild, and channeling that wild energy into a skill, into something brave, into something new. And I love in this, you've got the mountains behind and then the woods. Sorry, I'm not swearing at you, I'm just holding my tea, it's a bit rude then. I'll put my tea down, so it saved me sticking my fingers up. You've got behind you, you've got the mountains and the woods, and how I see it is like she's probably been through there, she's seen the great perspective, she's been seeing what she wanted to do, but then after she saw what she wanted to do, she had to go down to the woods of you know, the journey to the self, the earthly journey, the confusion, the subconscious, the learning about life and the learning about the earth and the trees and learning about the ancestors, and then came out the other side into this clear space where again she's closer to her goal, closer to where she can see the world's open, and then now with her passion she can shoot her arrow forwards. You could see it the other way, you could see she's going to shoot her arrow forwards, then go into the woods, then climb the mountain, but that's, you know, whatever way, but she's using that beautiful feisty energy and she is channeling it. So I am going to go and use my beautiful feisty energy and channel my next painting. And thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed learning about these cards and discovering these decks if you haven't seen them before. What I'll do is I'll put the links to these tarot decks down here, and if you feel drawn to them, support these amazing artists and these amazing talented people, go forth and purchase one of these decks, and I hope you enjoy working with them. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed it. Have a beautiful day. Take care. Bye. These decks are all cobweb approved. And if you would like to book your very own reading with me, please visit my website, all the W's, LauraDalligan.com. I offer a variety of different readings, from mini email readings, in-depth email readings, face-to-face readings, phone and Skype readings. So for all questions and all timescales really. Thanks so much for watching. I look forward to hearing from you. Take care. Mwah. Bye.